G'day folks, it's time to talk about KCP on the road to the London Major. Obviously we saw them in the winter split where they didn't get the series win, but they certainly turned some heads, especially with the Game 5 against BDS that looked winnable for sure and showed off the talent of this very young team. Here's a replay that I found on Ball Chasing that had Super Locky, Banana Head, who we're spectating, and their coach Threes was playing with them against some of the ranked players, including Taz in Europe. And interestingly enough, speaking about Threes, he has come on as their tactical coach for this split. But they have two coaches. They have tactical coach Threes, and they also have a mental coach, Prof. So very well coached, supported, and you could see that in the turnaround that they had throughout this split, where first event didn't go so well. They didn't play well at all, really. And they ended up taking a 4th place, which is definitely got to be upsetting for them and took them further away from both the Major and Worlds. However, they fought back incredibly strongly and took the 1st place in both the 2nd and 3rd event. And not only that, it was very clearly 1st place for both of those events, especially that 2nd event. Kind of saw the other two teams, Renegades and Power, have a little bit of a fall off in that event. And at the same time, KCP just played so well throughout. And, well, it was their first ever championship win. They go back to back without having taken a regional championship once before. And it was only a matter of time. They had 4 second places before that. Their first ever second place, of course, was in the first tournament they ever played, in their first ever RLCS. It was actually, I think, Banana Head's first ever tournament. But as a trio, they came out just at the ripe age of 15. At the end of RLCSX, managed to come 2nd in their first ever tournament, came 3rd, 4th in their 2nd ever tournament. Had a bit of a falling off. And then obviously we've seen a huge resurgence of them. They're no longer the youngest team, though. Actually, Team Liquid have now taken over the mantle of the youngest team at an RLCS LAN. They're just averaging under 15, but the 3 players from KCP are just 16 years old, so there's not too much of a difference there. And honestly, these guys kind of looking like the future of OCE in terms of what we've seen in the growth of mechanically from the region. All 3 of them very mechanical, but I put it on Banana Head because I expect to see the most mechanical players from him. He's had an incredible split. He actually had a great winter split as well, but at the Major couldn't quite show that off. He had a brilliant split this split. He was the main reason they were scoring goals. Flip resets from his own half that were taking out multiple players of all of his opponents, and when you back that up with the consistent shooting and of course play in front of the net from Super Locky, then it's very hard to defend against, and that's what teams struggled. Super Locky, one of the highest stats of the season too, or sorry, of the split as well, just behind Banana Head if I recall, but he had a fantastic first LAN. They would have been super nervous. They talked about being nervous for that first LAN and not quite performing as well as they would have liked off the bat against SSG and Dignitas, despite taking first games against both of them. But now that they've got the experience, they're going in with no excuses. They want to go a really long way, and they have the confidence to do it. Super Locky always speaks very, very confidently about his chances. Scrub less though. He tries to be as realistic sounding as possible, and it kind of reflects how they play on the pitch as well. Scrub tries to be that kind of smart player, very, very much a disruption player, goes forward, tries to put the threat on the ball, make sure the opponents don't have any room, and usually does a great job of setting up his 2 teammates, but it can fall apart a little bit when he is not feeling confident, and he will move further back, but he also plays a lot of 3rd man, so he's good all around. Super Locky, more likely to go for the big plays, as you see right here. And that means that they're in a very good position here. I think they are the most consistent team in OC right now, as well as the best team in OC right now. And that's going to be important for anyone to make a long run. The only problem is that they will have the pressure of Worlds on the line, because they need 2 series wins to 100% guarantee Worlds, or only 1 if Team Power do not get a series win at LAN. So that's a lot of pressure to put on. They're going to have their first match, a rematch against SSG, and then their second match would be either, if they won against SSG, the winner of BDS versus Secret, or if they lost, the loser of that series. So a lot of people would predict that they will be up against Team Secret in the lower bracket, which I hope does actually happen. As much as I'd love to see them win in the upper bracket, I would really like to see Team Secret and Sam versus OC and see how that goes down. As you can see, the win here, I have high expectations for these lads. I hope they do well at the major. I'll be seeing you guys soon.